I'm high on believing
that you're in love with me.
I'm hooked on a feeling.
In a beautiful sky.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Keystone Film Review Stateside. We just saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, directed by James Gunn, also written by James Gunn, starring Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper, Palm Clementif, played Mantis, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillan, Vin Diesel, Sean Gunn, a whole bunch of
Will
people.
Poulter's
Will
in there?
Poulter's in there. Linda Cardellini.
Stacked
Asa motherfucking Chowdhury.
Nathan Finley?
Nathan Finley.
Fillion? Sorry. I just
Fillion.
named somebody from high school.
But yes, this of course is the third in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, possibly the last. Who knows?
Oh.
And this is the second Marvel movie to come out this year after
Yes.
Ant-Man.
And there will only be one more after this.
One more after this. Thank the good Lord above.
Jeebus.
Should have been two less.
Yeah.
For those of you, of course, every time we do a Marvel movie, we have to do a disclaimer. I'm not really a big Marvel fan. Kind of got tired of them probably back in 2012, right when Avengers started. I know that's weird. I'm just over them. But I do like Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they're fun. I think they're the heart of the entire cinematic universe, personally speaking. That might irritate some people, but just know that I don't really give a shit about Marvel, so you shouldn't really consider what I say to be right in any way, if you are a Marvel fan. Glen! What did you think of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
I felt ways that I've never felt before this year. Ways that made me tickle my fancy. No, I didn't do that at the theater, but I thought about tickling the fancies. Many times, I was enjoying myself. I was wandering my brain and my body. Why? Why was this so good? Why was it acting so nice and so kind to me? James Gunn is the reason. He's the one making me feel so naughty inside. I will go on record to say I believe the Guardians trilogy is the best trilogy Marvel had to offer. And we can thank the new head of DC, basically.
Yes.
DCU.
Yeah.
For that wonderful. And there's going to be a lot of people pissed off that I just said that. Guardians 2 wasn't even that good. It was pretty good. You're just obnoxious.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You just don't like things being fun.
And Captain America was the closest one. But I don't. It's still, that's the closest it got.
Yes.
So, I think this movie was fantastic. There's so many feelings that it made me feel.
Hooked on a feeling.
Hooked on a feeling.
High on believing.
Such a good soundtrack.
Yes. Played the entirety of Creep by Radiohead.
Yep.
So, just killing it with the start with that. I would agree 100%, in my opinion, that the Guardians trilogy is the best that MCU has to offer. I rewatched 1 and 2 this week, just to, refresh myself. And I realized while watching it, it really is the only Marvel series before Endgame where death actually fucking mattered.
Yep.
Before that, we always had these, other than villains, it's like, oh, they're dead. No, they're not. They're come back. Nick Fury died 7 times, or died 7 times in the MCU, to the point where it just became laughable and obnoxious. I can't remember. I don't think anyone really dies in 1, unless you count old Groot. That I think that's bullshit, personally speaking. It's Groot. It might be a different Groot in the lore, but he's exactly the same as the other Groot.
He's Groot.
But then in 2, of course, if you haven't seen 2, skip forward 30 seconds. Michael Rooker's character, who I'm forgetting, Yondu, dies. I feel like other people die. A few other Ravagers?
Yes, Mike. You are so smart and handsome.
But yeah, I found myself, while watching Guardians 1 and 2, feeling something that the rest of the MCU never made me feel, and that was feelings.
Naughty feelings.
Naughty feelings, sad feelings. And I feel like James Gunn is just, such a great storyteller that first and foremost, he doesn't really give a fuck about what the rest of the MCU is doing. He tells a compelling story in his films that then also translates well into another. All the other Marvel movies, I feel like, are either too micromanaged by Kevin Feige to have like fan service, or all the other directors and writers of them just get so excited to be in the MCU that they try to put every little thing in it.
It's so goofy because he just crafts a whole little galaxy, if you will, and just everything fits and feels like it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like his characters give you the whole emotional spectrum that you're just sitting there riding on. Comedy, sadness, obviously laughter goes with comedy, but I don't say that out loud. Just all of it. It's so, I don't know how he does it, and all the characters, none of them feel stale. They're all funny. They're all their own thing. Howard the Duck's in there too.
He wants to do a Howard the Duck movie so bad, and you can tell.
But it's just, it's crazy, and it obviously it shows why, you know, DC's so interested in James Gunn, because he took
the Suicide Squad.
He keeps taking things and just making them just blossom so fucking hard.
Yeah.
From nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, no one knew who Guardians were before. Like, yeah, people knew about the Guardians, like, comics, but, like, it's not what it is now. Suicide Squad.
No one knew who Polka Dot Man was.
No one knew half the none of the characters are even, like,
other than Harley
somewhat
Quinn.
of a scale on, besides Harley, but none of those characters are even, like, somewhat of a scale on people's radars. And then, boom, John Cena, Peacemaker, gets his own show now. Like, he just takes these things, plants the seed, and then it fucking goes crazy, blossoms. His talent is infuriating.
Yeah.
Because he's so fucking good, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
how he can
I
do it.
truly think, I've been a fan of James Gunn. I combined Sean and James. I've been a fan of James Gunn since Slither. He's had a few movies that I didn't quite enjoy as much, but I really kind of chalk that up to a lack of resources. I feel like if he was given all the resources he needed from the start, like Marvel has done with him, that he would have made a truly phenomenal first few films. Slither's good. I think he did Super. Super's pretty good. But they still have their issues. But then, like, ever since he's had money and resources, and I'm not like a James Gunn fanboy. Like, I like him. But like I don't think everything he does will be gold. Yeah. But I am very impressed of his track record thus far since Guardians, and even the things he's produced, like Belko Experiment. He didn't direct that, but he produced it.
He was a part of it.
It was a pretty fun movie. He just has fun, and I feel like a lot of other superhero movies forget about that. And I'm not saying that like everything needs to be a joke.
In most cases, it's fine. Like not like, again, like Winter Soldier was amazing, but they almost never reached that scale again. Infinity War was amazing. He's one in the few, but there's that scale where it was like certain things have their staple. James Gunn is the whole fucking staple gun. Yeah, and.
James Gunn, staple gun.
Oh shit! I didn't even know what I did. He's the whole thing, but like, there's certain, like, Captain America, the Winter Soldier was excellent, and the way they should have handled that was just, you know, war drama or whatever, just action war drama or something like that.
This might be the one thing we did. Winter Soldier was like the first Marvel movie where it's just like, maybe I'm not a big Marvel fan. And people were shocked to find that out.
I am also shocked, because it was one of the better ones. And
then, I felt like I'm going to be like Peter Griffin about The Godfather. It insisted on itself.
It felt like the most of what that should have been in that character's, you know, that specific. All of the other ones feel like, and it annoys me because that one feels like the most like Captain America's story. Like, instead of Captain America and here's Ant-Man and here's Iron Man. None of them feel like they have their own stories most of the time. So that's where his stories, you know, flourish, because he never has anybody just kind of popping up and helping out.
He ignores the rest of the MCU, which should happen more.
Mm-hmm.
It really should happen more.
You know, Iron Man had the whole sci-fi thing, but you know, people popped up. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
His universe, his little galaxy felt like it just perfect. But let's talk about the actual movie itself.
Yes.
The characters are all great.
Mm-hmm. It
introduces a lot of new ones, some new ones, and they're all somehow excellent. They're all almost perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There's flashbacks, which I don't want to get too far into, but it's one of the most heartbreaking ever fucking things.
I
to
think
exist.
it's pretty well known now. A lot of it is about Rocket's backstory.
Yeah.
Which, you know, feel bad for anyone taking their kids to see this because there's a lot of animal abuse.
Yeah.
It really was heartbreaking, but it was also like extremely touching, like the friendships that he had before he met like Groot even. And it was just, I really enjoyed seeing it. I've heard a few people complaining that it's not enough about Peter Quill. In my opinion, it didn't need to be.
It didn't need to be at all.
And you know, I'm not. I know you're tired of Chris Pratt. I'm indifferent about Chris Pratt, so
well,
I don't.
In
really...
this he was good. Most of the time, it's mainly like interviews and stuff. He just feels like he doesn't even want to be there anymore. Which I mean, I get interviews get boring most of the time.
He might be over his fame.
He could be, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it gets tiring when he feels like he doesn't even want to be a part of some projects anymore, and just go do your thing then, man.
Yeah.
But like this, he was great in this. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was just so good. There was so many whiplashing emotions going through this. Dave Bautista was fantastic.
He was. So was Palm Clemente for
Mantis.
Yeah, Mantis. The thing that rewatching 1 and 2 that I kind of realized, I kind of knew, but I never realized how well the theme of like a created family went. And dare I say, I'm gonna piss off another fan base, does it better than the Fast and Furious movies. That one's not all about family. That's family in the way that, you know, corporations say that they're a big family, so they can just, you know, instead of giving you equal raises to keep up with inflation, they just give you pizza parties.
Vin Diesel's in 2 movies or franchises where family is his core center.
I love that that theme, as well as the theme that it really hits home in this of like freaks finding a home, using the verbiage of the bad guys in this. Of course, that you know, these flawed people that are not wanted in other circles are kind of welcomed into another one. I love that. I thought it was done beautifully. You know, the acceptance of everyone, and how and this has kind of been a through line throughout all 3 of them, is that like the imperfections is what makes people perfect, or worthwhile rather. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. I think it's obvious that is a theme that really hits home for James Gunn, because I feel like he does that in a lot of his movies, where it's like these he's
all about ragtag.
Yes, these ragtags, these outcasts, finding love and support and family and everything. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yes. Great action. Fantastic action. Good dogs, bad dogs. No bad dogs. There's no bad dogs.
It's
only
impossible.
bad owners.
I did have the smallest of nitpicks, which I can't talk about too much. It's mainly about Rocket, mainly after most of the flashbacks. How kind of felt like stagnant. We didn't get a lot of emotion, it felt like, out of it. Like more emotion. I was hoping for more emotion after we saw all of that.
Yeah,
and, you know,
I think I took it as him still bottling it up.
Yeah,
like
which is fine. It's to me, there's just small nitpicks, small.
Yeah.
Obviously, as we know from the podcast, Oaks closed down, so we had to relocate our home to KOP now.
Which I actually worked at this theater.
Yeah. The crowd here fucking sucks most
every
of the time.
Pretty much.
Every time.
Unless it's like a smaller independent movie, and then it's like 50-50.
Marvel movies are hard to watch because there's always, be a fan, do what you gotta do, just don't be obnoxious during the movie.
Yeah.
If you're clapping at every other scene that happens that's like somewhat even heightened like your senses in any way, Come on, man.
It is okay to be excited about something. It is not okay to ruin other people's experience.
And I'm not just talking like, oh, this dude just punched this guy in the face. Like, oh, that's a great action. Hell yeah, he deserved that. It's like, they opened a door. Oh!
You clap at everything. You clap at nothing.
It was very obnoxious to the point where I turned to Mike. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking headbutt this person in the face. It was getting really bad.
Yeah. Luckily, we've seen. Obviously, this has been out for a week. It was only one person. Because when we have gone opening week, it's like at least 3 or 4 people that are like that. So yeah, again, great. Be excited. Be gung ho about things. Hold your claps for when it's worthy, and make sure that you read the room and you're not ruining other people's experience.
It's rough.
It is very rough.
Besides that, the movie was great. It was fantastic. There's some great send-offs, if you will. There's great send-ons, if you will. Will Poulter was a fucking child, and I loved every second of it.
He was a himbo.
He was so slutty, and I love it. Especially when he's like, there's one point where he's like smoldering through space. He's just like,
yeah.
And he
yeah, the actor who played the High Evolutionary
eyebrows.
Will Poulter's eyebrows. Yeah, he's fantastic. He of course is in Peacemaker as well.
I actually really liked him.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I am excited to see him in more. Yeah, he's fantastic. Chikwundi. Why do I keep doing this myself? Chikwundi Iwuji. I think I'm nailing that.
He didn't.
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll find out. And I love the galaxy and the world that it creates, and the little nod, I guess, to Among Us. I wish it was a little stronger, but
it was funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
It wasn't that sus at all.
It was not sus in the least bit. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Probably my favorite Marvel movie since Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's not saying too much, but
no,
you know.
It's not. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the Avengers saga, so if you are, great. I like it when death matters and things feel a little dangerous, because then otherwise, if I know that no one's gonna die, why am I caring? And that makes me sound like I want death. I don't want death. I just want the possibility of death to be a thing.
I want death.
I want death.
You know, I'm excited for what James Gunn does in the future, especially with the DC. This movie, it was really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be surprised if there's people out there who are like, this movie was fucking dog shit, dude.
Yeah.
Not even good dog shit, like bad dog shit.
There's the shit bad, or is the dog bad?
Think about it.
Because there's no bad dogs, only
There's
bad
no
owners.
bad dogs, just a really
Only bad
dog
owners.
shit.
I gave a 4 out of 5 to both the first two. I think I like this one a little bit more, but I also feel like a 4.5 is a little high.
It's in that little threshold. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I gave the first one a 4.5.
I'm gonna give this a 4.09
Oh, I didn't.
out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a what?
4.09 out of 5.
4.09.
4.09. Because I do like it more than volumes 1 and 2.
I don't know if I like the ratings of how I did the Guardians trilogy, but I also feel the same way, that it falls into a linear equation of 4 and 4.5. But instead of 4.09, I'm feeling 4.25.
4.25. Okay.
0.01. Yeah, that's right. 425.01 out of 5.
425.01.
Mm-hmm.
You sure about that?
I said what I said.
That's off the charts.
It's off the emotional spectrum that this movie
Yes,
gave me.
but that is what we thought of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We're a bit late because I was in Iceland for 2 weeks. So, yeah, I'm sure many of you have seen this. If you've seen this, tell us what you thought down below in the comments. And we will see you in the next video. Hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing. 'Cause you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling. Okay, get out.